Hey everyone, this is Dan Mumm with Berkshire Hathaway, and this week I'm going to be talking about why the Raiders will not increase your home value. Okay, so this week I'm going to be doing another video about the Las Vegas Raiders. It's something that everyone is talking about. I sent out a video about it a few months ago. I got a really big response. A lot of people agreeing with me, disagreeing with me, offering their own opinions, and that's great. I really look forward to that. I look forward to your feedback as well. So the most common question that we get, or thing that people say, is, well, aren't the Raiders going to increase the value of my home? And I want to take this time in this video to explain a little bit more about why it probably won't happen that way. So the real estate market is speculative in nature, okay? Very similar to the stock market. And what does that mean, speculative? Well, what it means is that people are basing buying and selling decisions not just on what's happening right this second, but about what's going to happen in the future. That's how they try and generally make money. They speculate. So the best example I can give is in the stock market with a pharmaceutical company, for example. If a pharmaceutical company announces the release of a breakthrough drug, a drug that will cure cancer, let's say, just in an extreme case, as soon as they make that announcement, that company's stock is going to skyrocket. It's going to go through the roof, right? As soon as that announcement is made. Actually, even before that announcement, there's probably going to be changes as soon as there's any type of even research or development around that subject. There might even be, big changes in the stock price. But as soon as that announcement's made, the price just skyrockets. That happens all the time with drugs in the pharmaceutical industry. And the important lesson here is that the stock price doesn't increase when the drug is released. If you wait until the drug is released, then you missed the boat at that point. I mean, the stock can almost plummet by then, actually. That ship might have already sailed at that point. So the real estate market's exactly the same way. And with professional sports teams or any kind of major developments, the changes happen when the news is announced. And again, just like with the stock market, not even when the stadium was announced, but even in that buildup before then, in 2015 to 2016, when the talks were first happening, that's when we were seeing the buzz, the appreciation, the people making decisions based on it. And I'll put a little graphic below here on the screen so you can see this. But if you look at the pricing in 2015, 2016, and 17, all the way up to 2018, that's when we really saw this appreciation happening. And it actually kind of slowed down towards the end of 18 and 2019, kind of flattened out a little bit. So what does this mean? Well, what it means is that the pricing that you have now is because of the Raiders. You can thank them for that if you live here in town. The pricing that we have now is because, in part, obviously there's other factors, but in part, a big part of it, is because of the Raiders and because of the announcement, because of the buzz, because of the speculation. But the idea that, okay, well, once the first game happens, my property value will double, it's just not really realistic. I mean, most of the studies, as I talked about in the last video, the studies don't show any change once the stadium's complete, once the first games happen. I think there's like an average of 6 real estate transactions that result from the average team move. So there's your answer. It definitely helps. I'm a big fan of what's going on here in Las Vegas. I don't mean to rain on anyone's parade, but I do want to set realistic expectations. If you're making plans to buy or sell property, wouldn't necessarily base it on that and what's going on with the Raiders. I'd base it more on what your personal situation is and if it makes sense for you. So hopefully that is helpful. My information, as always, is below. Please feel free to reach out if you have any comments or questions. And thanks so much for watching.